You're listening to the Quint podcast.
While barricades are being put up in a bid to crack down on farmers' protest, simultaneously there have been FIRs and cases of sedition against several journalists over their reportage of the protest. Since the incident of Red Fort violence, over the past couple of weeks, Rajdeep Sardesai, Mrinal Pande, Zafar Agha, Paresh Nath, Anant Nath and Vinod K Hose had cases against them for allegedly misreporting the events and prompting disharmony. In a separate instance, freelance journalist Mandeep Punia, who is a contributor to the Caravan, was arrested while reporting at the Singhu border for allegedly misbehaving with the police. While visuals of the police manhandling him at the protest site went viral, prompting the media fraternity to demand for his release, Punia was kept in judicial custody for 14 days without being allowed to see his lawyer until he received his bail on 3rd February. After his release, Punia alleged that he was falsely accused of assaulting the police and was given a brutal treatment in custody.
जब टेंट में लेके गए तो हम दोनों को अलग बिठा दिया गया और मुझे तो 10 मिनट तक मारते रहे और कहते रहे अच्छा ज्यादा रिपोर्टर बनना है, ये मनदीप पुनिया, वो बिल्कुल टारगेट करके वो पिटाई कर रहे थे.
As these kind of incidents have been spiking over the last few years, India has also been sliding down the ladder of the World Press Freedom Index. In 2020, India ranked 142nd out of 180 countries. Is India turning hostile towards free press? What challenges are journalists facing on the ground from the state? We spoke to Mandeep Punia, the freelance journalist who was mentioned earlier, and Patricia Mukim, a veteran journalist and the editor for the Shillong Times. You're tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you, and I'm your host, Himmat. I want to start with reading out a tweet by the Union Home Minister Amit Shah from 16 November 2020, which is also marked as the National Press Day. He said, and I'm quoting him here, "Our media fraternity is working tirelessly towards strengthening the foundations of our great nation. Modi government is committed towards the freedom of press and strongly oppose those who throttle it." If these statements suggest that the current government is supportive of the press freedom, the ground reality bears a stark contrast. If we simply look at the recent events at the farmers' protest, the security measures to contain farmers at the protest sites on the edges of the capital have intensified since 26 January, as has been reported with the addition of multiple layers of steel barricades, barbed wires, and cement blocks. If this is an attempt to thwart the protesters, the police is also now deviating reporters to travel through several farms and inland roads to reach the protest sites, and in some instances, denying entry altogether. If you missed our previous episode where the Quint reporters Shadab Moisey talked about the problems that the journalists are facing at the protest sites, you can check it out on the show notes. But coming back to the incident of Mandeep Punia's arrest, listen to him describing the events that led to his arrest.
जिस दिन मेरे को गिरफ्तार किया गया था उस दिन मैंने बात की थी डीसीपी मीना साहब से, तो फोन पे उनसे बाइट ली थी और वहां पर जो दिल्ली पुलिस के जो और लोग थे उनसे भी मैं बात कर रहा था, तो उनको एक हो गया था कि ये एंटी पत्रकार है, ये हमारे खिलाफ कुछ दिखाने जा रहा है, जबकि ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. जो फैक्ट है वो तो फैक्ट है, हमारा काम होता ग्राउंड पे फैक्ट.
The day I was arrested, I had interviewed the Delhi police DCP and also spoke with several policemen. I believe they gathered from my questions that my report may be against the government or the police. And my report was nothing along those lines. My job is to report on the facts and what's happening on ground.
तो वो उस वजह से उनको हो गया था कि इसका हमें कैमरा तोड़ना. मेरे पास एक छोटा सा कैमरा था कैनन का मिररलेस, वो उन्होंने तोड़ दिया. एक सैमसंग का फोन था, उसका अभी तक पता नहीं है कि वो कहाँ है. उसकी वीडियोस मेरे सामने, उसको खोल के और वीडियोस डिलीट किए उसमें. और
I had a small Canon mirrorless camera which was confiscated by the police and then later broken. I had a Samsung phone which was also confiscated by the police. I am not aware where the phone is now. I had several videos on that phone and the police deleted the videos after confiscating it.
मेरे को उस टेंट जो जहाँ पर मुझे रखा गया था उस टेंट से मुझे एक वाइट स्कॉर्पियो में बैठा के ले जाया गया. तो पहले तो दिल्ली में वो घुमाते रहे, उसके बाद एक पुराना सा कोई पुलिस स्टेशन था वजीराबाद के उस पार, वहाँ मुझे बैठाए रखा 12-1 बजे तक.
From the tent where I was being kept at, which was near the protest site, I was transported in a white Scorpio car to a police station in the Wazirabad area, where I waited till around 1 a.m.
उन्होंने मेरी जैकेट उतरवा दी और ठंड में पंखा चला दिया और मुझे उस पंखे के नीचे ठंड में बैठाए रखा और साथ में वो इस तरीके की बात करते रहे कि इसके ऊपर ये एक्ट लगा देते हैं, इसके ऊपर वो एक्ट लगा देते हैं, इसको रेड लाइट एरिया में छोड़ देते हैं, वहां से इसको अरेस्ट दिखा देते हैं, ऐसे कर।
They had taken my jacket and placed me in a room with the fan on. And while I waited, I heard the police discussing the charges they would place on me. One officer also suggested leaving me in the red light area.
बात कर रहे थे, इतने में एक कांस्टेबल आया, वो वीडियो चला के लेके आया और बोला कि इंटरनेट पे इसकी गिरफ्तारी का वीडियो वायरल हो रहा है। तो इतना सुनते ही वो जितने भी लोग बैठे थे जो मुझे तंग कर रहे थे, वो एकदम कमरे से बाहर जाते हैं और आधे घंटे बाद आते हैं। वो मुझे अकेला छोड़ देते हैं कमरे में और आधे घंटे बाद आके वो मुझे दोबारा स्कॉर्पियो में बैठाते हैं उसमें, तो उनमें मेरे को बैठा के अम्बेडकर अस्पताल लेके जाते हैं, वहां पर मेरा मेडिकल करवाते हैं वो लोग।
After the constable came to the station saying that the video of my arrest has gone viral, I was left alone, and then after 30 minutes, I was taken to Ambedkar Hospital for my medical in the same white Scorpio.
Shrinking press freedom in India is not breaking news, and the attacks towards journalists like Mandeep Punia for their coverage has increased since the BJP government came to power in 2014. According to a study by the Free Speech Collective titled Getting Away with Murder, 198 serious attacks on journalists have been documented in the period between 2014 and 2019, including 36 in 2019 alone. The report also notes that there has not been a single conviction in attacks on journalists in India. But such kind of attacks and intimidation tactics are also not limited to arrest. Often, the judiciary has also failed to protect the rights of journalists. In the case of Mandeep Punia, he was arrested on charges of causing assault, injury, and obstruction to security forces at the Singhu border and was detained by the police. On his hearing day on 1st February, Mr. Punia was asked to appear before the court at 2 p.m. However, according to his wife Leela Shri, the Delhi police ushered him to court at 1:30 p.m. and he exited the court at 1:55 p.m., just 5 minutes after his lawyer went inside. What was his hearing about? His bail plea, which was denied and he was sent to Tihar jail for 14 days of judicial custody. Now contrast this with Arnab Goswami's arrest, who was granted bail within a week of his arrest, with the Supreme Court saying this: "It is the duty of courts across the spectrum, the district judiciary, the high courts, and the Supreme Court, to ensure that the criminal law does not become a weapon for the selective harassment of citizens." Patricia Mukim, the editor for Shillong Times, believes that the contrast in reporting on issues among media channels in India is making it difficult to understand what it is that journalists can report on, which won't land them in jail.
This systematic attack against journalists and media houses that are anti-government. And what is the role of the media if not to critique government and its functioning and governance? If that is not our role, then what is? Because we are supposed to be the voices of the people. We're not supposed to be the voices of those in government. They are the power holders. We have to be with those who are powerless. We have to provide agency for people who do not receive the benefits of the governance system. We have to give them the voice to speak out. But if we do that, then we are considered anti-government, we are considered anti-national and seditious. I don't even understand anymore what is it that we can report and what we cannot. See, I have a case in the Supreme Court myself, so I have to tell myself that I must have faith in the judicial system. Otherwise, where does one go to? That's the last court of appeal, the Supreme Court of India. If that court cannot give us justice, then we are done for, no? Then we will be spending our lives behind bars for doing what? For reporting the truth, not post-truth, as is happening in most other media, which manufactures consent night after night. I don't understand why these people still call themselves the free press. They're not the free press. They are the mouthpieces of the government.
As Mandeep Punia got arrested, several journalists spoke about demanding his release. The Editors Guild termed his arrest as an attempt to muzzle young, courageous voices of independent journalists who are busting fake news and speaking truth to power through their reportage. Ms. Mukim, who herself is fighting a court case for a Facebook post she had posted last year, talks about how the challenges faced by the press has evolved over the years.
I think that today, India is so ideologically divided. Even the best of people who you think are logical and reasonable today have begun to speak about Hindus versus Sikhs, and then, I don't know how further can the divide go. We are not thinking as Indians anymore. We're thinking as people of a certain religion, people of a certain profession. and really bedeviling the farmers' protests so much that it is very sad, because ultimately it tells on the polity, it tells on, on the integrity of the country. It makes us kind of not happy citizens, those who do not subscribe to that notion that the farmers are doing wrong. Many of us don't believe that. We believe that they have a grouse, and we believe that the government has to listen to them and to have parleys with them. Those in power always believe in the divide and rule policy. There are a section of journalists that are close to the powers that be. There is a section that is just doing their duty. They are not with the government, or they are not against the government. They are the for reporting what is correct, what is right, what they believe is right, what they believe is in the larger interest of the people of India. So, but that divide is so sharp today. I can't see us coming together anytime soon.
As Ms. Mukim says, India is ideologically divided, and issues concerning press freedom will require a radical change within the fraternity to fight for the truth. And Mandeep Punia's statement after his arrest highlights that fight. In a viral video after he was released on bail, Mr. Punia showed the cameras notes that he wrote with a pen on his left leg while inside Tihar jail, with the aim to document and report on the plight of farmers who were jailed with him. Mr. Punia said that he was conscious of the attacks and the charges he was under, but was not afraid, because that's what the police wants.
नहीं, मेरे हिसाब से तो मुझे डर नहीं। मैं उस दिन भी हंस के मैं गया बिल्कुल जेल में। मुझे नहीं समझ में था, डर वाला तो मैटर समझ में नहीं आ रहा। ये समझ में आ रहा कि हाँ आपके ऊपर अटैक हो रहा है, पुलिस आपके ऊपर अटैक कर रही है, वो समझ में आ रहा। लेकिन उसको रिस्पोंड अगर डर के करेंगे तो फिर तो मारे जाएंगे। वो तो क्योंकि वो चाह ही रहे हैं कि आप डर जाएं।
I don't have any fear. On the day of my arrest as well, I was smiling as I walked towards the jail. I did understand that I was being attacked and that the police is attacking me, but if you're responding to the attacks with fear, then you are giving them what they want.
तो आपका जवाब है कि आप रिपोर्ट करिए, आप जो वो छुपा रहे हैं उसी के ऊपर रिपोर्ट करिए। तो वही मैंने रिपोर्ट करने की कोशिश की और वही मैं करूंगा भी आगे। और जो वो जिस तरीके से वो दबाने की कोशिश करेंगे पत्रकारों को, मेरे हिसाब से उनको कलम और ज्यादा चलानी चाहिए, और ज्यादा लिखना चाहिए, लगातार लिखना चाहिए। ग्राउंड पे जो हो रहा है, जो छुपाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, उनको एक्सपोज करना चाहिए। वही हमारा हथियार है।
So your only recourse is that you keep on reporting. Report on what they are hiding, and that's what I try to do, and I will continue to do so. If they continue to intimidate journalists, then journalists should start writing more. Continue writing on what is happening on the ground and what they are trying to hide. That's our only weapon.
जब वो आपको तरह तरह से लेबल लगाएं आपके ऊपर और आपको डराएं, तो आप स्माइल से उनका जवाब दीजिए और कहिए कि ठीक है, हम ग्राउंड जीरो से रिपोर्ट करेंगे और आप जो कर रहे हो वो उसका जवाब हम अपनी रिपोर्ट से देंगे।
Their job is to make you afraid, and when they place several charges on you, just smile and reply, okay, I will report from ground zero and will respond to your actions in my report.
The continuous gags on reporters and media houses lead to only one question: how free is the press in India? If you liked listening to this episode, please subscribe to The Big Story for episodic updates. We're available on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website, and for any feedback, please shoot an email to podcast@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.